Alright, let's go on, get on with another video here. So this video, it's going to be on the Hill People gear, their bag, their chest bag. Okay, now this is the original one, with the search and rescue input. This is supposed to be for a walkie-talkie, right? So, a young fella asked me a while back, he sent me a message and he says, do you use a chest bag? Do you mount anything on your chest when you go out, you know, into the woods, etc.? I said, no. I said I hadn't really thought about it. And, you know, I mean, a lot of, there's, as far as like, this is kind of like an in-between civilian and a military thing. You know, it's kind of in between. So, there's been things kind of like this on both ends of that spectrum for a while. You know, it started out with things like ribs, okay, like Dana Gleason had been making for Mystery Ranch and other companies making chest bags, things like that for outdoors use, right? For yeah. So, and then of course the military started putting things in for administration panels, maps, GPS, drop-down altimeters for Halo and HAO and all that sort of thing, right? So, you know, that way you can just look down, you look at your altimeter on your chest, right, when you're flying. You don't have to necessarily have it on your wrist. But getting back to the subject, so I said, well, I haven't really looked at them lately. So he told me about this Hill People gear company. I said, well, I'll go take a look at it. So I kind of got interested in that a bit. And I started researching all of the big companies. And I looked at 511. I looked at Hill People gear. I looked at Kifaru. I looked at Mystery Ranch. I looked at another brand. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I looked at about 6 different brands or so. I ended up coming back to this Hill People gear. And this is a 500 denier. I normally like that 1000 denier material on a lot of stuff because it's really, really tough. But I mean, this is a chest bag, so it's not like it's gonna encounter that much wear and tear. Now, I've done a few things to this bag. I'll just put it on real quick for you. Some people gripe about the fact it only has one buckle to put it on. And I can understand that. Okay. I can understand that. Right? Now, because it makes it a little bit more difficult to get your stuff sorted out, right? So, here I have, you can tell I haven't worn this a lot. So, I decided to go ahead and get this thing, right? And I got it from a buddy of mine that owned this. He bought it brand new. Didn't really use it. I don't really know why he didn't. He didn't really get on with it. But he told me, he said he had this. So I said, "Oh, can I have a look at it?" You know. And I looked at it and I said, "Well, if you want to part ways with it, let me know, and I'll give you what you paid for it. You know, brand new price." So he did, like a week later or something. So I ended up buying a second one because, you know, I like to have Easter eggs in different places, right? So he wanted the 511, and it didn't fit. The straps didn't fit him. He's a bigger guy than me. He's a big guy, and the straps didn't fit him. He wanted to wear it with coats, jackets. So I said, "Okay, bring it to me. Bring me this webbing." I gave him a link for webbing. I said, "Bring me the webbing, and I'll modify it for you." So I did. I lengthened out the straps for him, you know, about 18 inches more or something like that on every strap. And anyway, it fit him well, and he liked it. He could wear it with a coat and so forth. Now this thing here, this is mostly like land navigation stuff in here. I got protractors, compasses. I got a Garmin 601 GPS and data light, all that normal sort of stuff. So I got all those things in here, and I took these grim locks. Okay, that's what they call them, grim locks. I took them off the top because I'm not going to hang it on a rucksack. It's going to go on, the rucksack will go on over top. So this is not going to hang on a rucksack. However, I'm not into putting little bungee cords and all that nonsense either. So I put the grim locks on the bottom, and they are difficult to get off of these straps up here. And they're difficult to get off, and they're difficult to get on. But I did it because these are not, they're going to live there, and they're not going nowhere no more. So then I got these little plastic carabiners. Okay, so what I could do is I could just clip these carabiners to whatever down here, right? That keep them from flopping around. If I want to, and I can adjust that length, obviously. So then I put some American-made, very compliant D-rings up here. So I put these are Duraflex D-rings. So 1 inch. So I put these up here. So if I want to hook something on there either side, I can. And they're attached via paracord on each side. And then I got rid of all these stupid plastic dingle dangles that are on here, because those will make noise. They'll clack together. If you don't want to make any noise, you need to cut those off and just put paracord. The nice thing about getting rid of those is that you can then basically lock your paracords together on your zippers, so that if you're not going to be in there for a while, you know, you can basically lock those off to where the zipper cannot come undone unless you physically undo your paracord. And I'll give you a close-up of that. So flip this back in. So if we look here up close, right? You could see there's my paracord. So basically I took that loop and I shoved it through. Here's the top of the loop right here. So I pushed the loop through the slot, and then I ran paracord so that it could not come back off. And then there's an overhand knot, and then you just weld the ends there, right, with flame. Same thing on both sides. And then the and then the zipper, as you can see, I just took those loops and I just ran them back and forth together. All right, and then if I want to undo that, I just, do you see how that is there? Right, so I just push the knot. I just kind of run the not through each deal there. Now I'm going to pull that out, push that out. Alright, so now I can do that. Got it? Pretty easy. So this is what's considered the full-size bag. Some of these guys get so much crap in there, I don't even know how they do it. I don't know, maybe they're stretching it out, or maybe it just bellows out a little bit more or something. But I don't really have a whole lot of stuff in here. Mostly, like I said, land nav stuff. There is a backup map here in the front. I have a whistle. Okay, this is a storm whistle, right? So for informational purposes only, right? If you're in a firefight, you want the loudest whistle as possible that you can have. So if you're in a firefight and you're given direction by whistle blows, this storm whistle, you definitely want one of these, okay? Because it can be heard over all of the action. One other thing I have in here is I have a mini New Testament, the old Gideon's Bible company. So I have a mini New Testament in there. So those things are right up there in the front. Of course, I said I had land nav stuff in here. There's a GPS here. Okay, so I got it on a little tether, so I could just pull it out and zip it up, and I could have it on a tether out here. Set it up that way. And I got a screen guard on there. I don't keep batteries in it because that's a no-no. Alright, so it looks like my 15 minutes pretty much up. But I got a backup compass here, which is a global MC2. Beta light over here. The headlamp. There's no batteries in there right now, but it's a military headlamp. Anyway, you guys get the idea. MGRS maps, all that sort of thing. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have questions, drop a line.